How to construct a wood-fired oven, Part 2. This segment is all about laying up the stones, and if you have never laid rock before, don't worry, it's not that hard. It's a simple matter of spreading some mortar, setting a stone on the mortar, and measuring it to assure the face of the stone is 6 inches from the block wall. There are very easy to lay stones, and there are hard to lay stones. If you're a beginner, we will guide you here at Hardscape Materials to some easy to lay stones that will require little, if any, trimming. For the corners, it's easier to hang some lines. Rig some boards to hang the lines from. Go ahead and lay a cornerstone. And then tie the line to a stick or wall tie and insert it under the corner of the stone. Next, use a level to make sure the line is plumb in all directions. Now you can lay up the corners and know they'll be perfect. Once we've run rock up to the top of the wood storage bin, use a long stone for a lintel, or build an arch, or use a 3x5 angle iron to span the opening. Measure it and level it and continue with the rock work. Before the mortar sets up too hard, we need to rake the joints. You can use a stick of wood, a wall tie, or any other thin flat object for this. Here we are doing a very shallow rake joint, but depth of the joint is strictly personal preference. When raking, define the edges of the stone. The deeper you go, the tighter the joints look. When you've got them all scratched, take a wire brush and strike the mortar from the stones to clean them off. And finish up with a fairly soft brush for a nice finish. We are going for a Tuscany look with these tumbled stones and wide shallow joints. Once we've leveled off with stones at the hearth, we will lay some flagstones for a nice little work area. Lay a bed of mortar and set the flagstones. Position them just right and tap them down for a good bond and level. We slope these slightly towards the front for water to run off. Go ahead and grout these joints and pack the mortar in good. Next, we are ready to build the arch around the entrance tunnel. Make a wood template. Our template is a little small, so we're going to use a little styrofoam to shim it out. Also, a little styrofoam is necessary to make it easy to remove it. Once you get the form set, spread a little mud and set your first stone. We're not going to make this a work of art. We're just going to hastily lay this and knock it out. It's far from perfect, but it'll be wonderful. When you get to the last stone, find a wedge shape as a keystone. Now, let's finish running up the side walls and corners. Here we have a hitch where we laid the flagstone for the hearth. And we're going to have to split a couple of stones. Mark the center line and use only the edge of the face of the hammer. Just like splitting wood, you've got to go with the grain. Check the rock on all sides until it splits. Now we'll mortar these in to level off with our course. This is a new corner and we will use a level on these corners. Fill the head joints and run the corners up. Now we are ready to create the pitch on the roof. I've cut a piece of cardboard with some boards nailed to the bottom to keep it rigid. Now I'm going to dry fit a stone to mark it for trimming. I'm eyeballing it against the cardboard guide, and now I have to lower my straight edge down about an inch to allow for the mortar joint. Scribe a line with the marker. Now, using the edge of the face of the hammer, I'll chip away to the mark. It doesn't have to be perfect, and you can tap it down to line it up with the template. Do the same thing on the other side. Drop the level down an inch after lining it up to allow for the mortar joint and chip away. Remember, use only the edge of the hammer. This Hackett stone cuts really well. Finish rocking up to the peak. Move the guide to the other end and finish with the veneer. Once the mortar has cured overnight, remove the arch template. Chip away any mortar and we'll touch this up later. That concludes part 2.